Chapter 0001 Beginning. P.S. The backstory of the MC will gradually unfold in upcoming chapters. Kindly stay engaged, despite the initial mystery. P.S. The main character takes a temporary leave from the world of Asterisk War around chapter 50 to 60. If you're here for Danmachi, feel free to start reading from that point. However, I strongly advise reading from the start, as skipping may result in overlooking crucial details and potential confusion in later chapters. Oh, I'm utterly drained. Within the confines of a simple, unadorned room, Luke's eyes fixated on the settlement panel ahead. Despite his youthfulness, his features resonated with the classic traits of an Asian individual. Agent, Luke. Task, Newbie Task 3. Mission difficulty, C, rating, perfect. Reward, 10,000 redemption points, 1 C-level treasure box, 1 B-level treasure box. Looking at the word perfect on the settlement panel, Luke was slightly relieved. He stood there and waited for a few seconds. As expected, there was another prompt. Newbie achievement, genius perk, completed. Agent Luke's authority has been increased. Welcome back to the main god space, authority holder Luke. As these mechanical words ended, Luke instantly appeared in his house, in the main god space. The novice period is finally over, and 3 achievements, with perfect evaluations have been obtained. It's finally time for the official mission. Luke opened his personal panel and planned to open the 2 treasure chests he had just obtained. Authority holder, Luke Ashburn. Agent level, C+. Epic title, Swordsman, the wearer obtains swordsmanship qualifications and a substantial increase in power. If there is an identity implant during the mission process, the relevant identity will be automatically obtained based on the agent's level. Talent, Swordsmanship Prodigy, swordsmanship qualifications are greatly increased. Skills, Swordsmanship, Shigure Son Ryu, Swordsmanship, Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu, Sword Chi, Sword Intent. Equipment, Taichi Shimizu, Grade D, extra stamina is consumed to produce flowing water when swinging the sword. Ding, you have opened C-level treasure box X1, B-level treasure box X1. Special permissions detected. You obtain Reverse Blade Sword Soul Nourishing, Swordsmanship Dual Life Sword. Reverse Blade Sword Soul Nourishing, Grade C, when equipped and using this weapon, it has the effect of weakly nurturing and nourishing the sword's will. Luke was not surprised when he saw the special permission bonus prompted when the treasure chest was opened. This was one of the benefits of becoming an authority/permission holder. After becoming an authorized person, when opening random rewards such as treasure chests, the authorized person's current talents, skills, props, and other information will be automatically retrieved, and there is a high probability that you will receive matching rewards. The achievement of authorized person is the prompt message that the system automatically pops up when Luke completes novice missions with a perfect evaluation after he inexplicably came to this main god space. This main god space is different from the main god space that Luke imagined. There are countless agents in this main god space, but each agent comes from a different universe. The tasks that each agent participates in are derivative worlds, unique to their own world. This also means that if a team is not formed in advance or is not invited by a certain agent, then an agent will never encounter other agents when performing tasks. Of course, if there are agents willing to form a team, the difficulty and rewards of the tasks will be increased. Luke's current agent level is C+. In the main god space, equipment, props, etc. are all graded in 5 stages from D to S. Level D, and below are ordinary equipment or ordinary people. There will also be relatively special plus and signs. Plus represents an overwhelming advantage over the same level, while represents a huge disadvantage. What is worth noting is that if you hold a B-level weapon and can fully utilize the weapon's capabilities, then no matter if you are physically D-level or C-level, your combat power is B-level, or at the very least you are B-level. However, whether you hold 1 weapon or 10 weapons, even if you maximize all 10 B-level weapons, you will not become a level. Therefore, even if they are of the same level, the gap in combat power is huge, and the level can only be used as a reference. A new agent will generally go through 3 novice missions. These 3 missions have nothing to do with the agent's world. A trial world generated by the main god space, and it is mainly used to evaluate new agents and give them the resources necessary to carry out official tasks. However, how much benefit you can get from the novice missions purely depends on the individual. The selection of agents is not random. The main god space does not have any mandatory requirements for tasks. On the contrary is the selection of agents. Each agent is a talent accurately selected by the main god space. Although they may not all have unparalleled qualifications, they all have one thing in common. That's faith. Only those selected by the main god space who have successfully completed 3 novice tasks and all received a qualified rating or above can officially become an agent. It is precisely because of the existence of such an audit mechanism that, with very few exceptions, agents will not be lazy. For the main god space, it is only necessary to simply urge the agents to carry out new tasks. After sorting out the rewards obtained from the novice mission, Luke pushed open the door and went straight to the training ground of the main god space. He needed to learn about the newly acquired dual life swordsmanship as soon as possible. He has never acquired other types of skills, so he doesn't know much about them. However, sword skills cannot be used directly after being learned in the main god space. If you have learned it and want to use it perfectly, you must practice diligently yourself. As for the 3 sword styles that Luke has learned so far, he knows nothing about the dual life sword because he just obtained it. Shigeru Sonryu has halted progress due to special restrictions, and only Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu is still optimistic about its progress. He walked all the way through the trading area without stopping too much, and went directly to the training area. It's not that Luke doesn't want to visit the trading area more, but because the time between novice tasks and official tasks is very short. Generally speaking, there will be a 10-day rest period between each task, including novice tasks. Besides, as an authority holder, Luke can have 15 days of rest between each task, a full half-month. But there is one exception to this rule. That is the period from the end of Novice Mission 3 to the beginning of the first official mission. It is only when rest time is 3 days, and it cannot be extended by using redemption points. And everyone, including those with authority, are no exception to this rule. In fact, if possible, Luke would really like to take a stroll in the trading area. After all, with 3 perfect evaluations in hand, Luke has quite a lot of redemption points. Welcome to the training ground, please set up the detailed training items. Luke walked into the training ground and was immediately transported to a small room, with the usual mechanical sound coming from his ears. Without any intention of responding to the mechanical sound, he directly operated on the panel that popped up in front of him. After all, this was not Luke's first time coming to this training ground. Setup completed. Opponent, Himura Kenshin. Difficulty, automatic adjustment, real-time. Mode, 1v1 battle. Yes/no. Luke did not plan to practice dual life sword directly from the beginning but chose to have a battle first. Because compared to learning new swordsmanship, Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu, which had just made some progress, needed more time to familiarize with. Time flies by, 3 days pass by, a little more than 2 days to be precise. It wasn't enough time for Luke to familiarize with new swordsmanship. He just practiced it a few times and barely memorized the stance. In the remaining time, Luke visited the trading area and bought some props and medicines that he could use. There are only 2 items worth mentioning. Props, portable pocket. Class D. Effect, it can be attached to clothes or walls to form a convenient pocket for storing items. Props, portable computer. Class D. Effect, bracelet-type portable general-purpose computer which can connect to the basic network under normal conditions. These 2 props were specially prepared by Luke. The internal space of the portable pocket is not large, about the size of a bookcase. He can divide the areas according to his needs. A portable computer is prepared for his convenience and just in case the next world is a modern world. In fact, Luke's main purpose of visiting the trading area was to find 1 or 2 better swords. Because of dual life sword, Luke's need for weapons has changed from 1 to 2. Although he's not in a hurry right now, he still hopes to be prepared in advance, otherwise, he'll have to make do with the reverse blade if needed. The effect of the reverse blade sword called soul nourishing that he obtained before is indeed very important to Luke, but it is still a bit inconvenient to use against enemies. As for the other sword Shimizu, to be honest, the swords in the market are 10 times better than Shimizu. However, because of Shigure Sonryu, Luke, who currently has no special powers of his own, must rely on the water flow effect of Shimizu if he wants to exert the power of Shigure Sonryu. What's more, in places with water, the power of Shigure Sonryu can be increased. So whether he wants to get a second sword or temporarily use Shimizu, various factors must be taken into consideration. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, Luke could not find a suitable weapon in the trading area, so he could only buy a few ordinary swords with no effect and put them in his portable pocket as a backup. As the 3 days of preparation came to an end, Luke, who was resting in his room, was transported with a white light to a small empty room where the previous mission was settled. World, the Asterisk War. Mission difficulty, sea level. It is detected that the agent has special permissions, and the agent's identity will be implanted. Please choose a camp. Luke looked at the interface in front of him and once again felt the benefits of privilege. As for the camp, if possible, Luke would certainly want to choose a familiar protagonist camp. However, for the current Luke, there is a more suitable choice than the Seidukan Academy where the protagonist is. Choose Jiaolong 7th Institute. Without too much hesitation, Luke made his choice directly. It is detected that the agent holds the title Swordsman, which will affect the identity implantation. Beginning the mission. Chapter 0002 Banyu Tenra. In a distant century, the Earth underwent an unprecedented disaster known as the Inversia/falling star shower, during which countless meteorites fell from the sky. Amidst this catastrophic event, most of the world's cities crumbled, established countries faced recession, and a megacorporation, formed by a coalition of companies, rose to power. The previously unknown element, mana, discovered in the meteorites, hastened the advancement of human science and technology, giving rise to a new breed of humans with extraordinary abilities called the Genesteller. The stage for the world's largest comprehensive battle entertainment event, the Festas, is set in the floating academy city Sujigaku in Toshirika, commonly known as Asterisk, surrounded by 6 academies. Seidukan Academy, St. Galahadworth Academy, Jiaolong 7th Institute, Arlequint Academy, Queenvale Girls Academy, Rewolf Black Institute. As the transmission concluded, Luke promptly assessed the surroundings. Indoors, numerous colossal plum blossom structures adorned the expansive square. Looking up, he could vaguely discern the illuminating light, indicating the building's considerable height. After confirming the absence of danger, Luke surveyed his surroundings, while casually verifying the identity implanted by the main god space. Luke, a swordsman prodigy renowned even before joining the academy, held the title of the most gifted swordsman in history. The brief introduction of his identity didn't captivate Luke's attention too much, his focus lingered more on the peculiar power within his body. As mentioned earlier, due to the abrupt outbreak of the devastating Inversia disaster in this world, a new, unknown element called mana emerged from the fallen meteorites. The Genesteller humans born under its influence possessed special powers, with their unique abilities being referred to as prana/star power. The physical prowess of the Genesteller surpassed that of ordinary humans, coupled with the possession of spiritual energy known as prana. Given their exceptional strength, they were subjected to stringent laws to keep them in check. For instance, while a regular human might escape legal consequences for a self-defense killing, a Genesteller in a similar situation would be deemed a murderer and sentenced accordingly. Prana is the distinctive aura of the star pulse generation. If the power is depleted, consciousness fades, but restoration occurs over time. Prana is the unique aura that Genestellars possess. If someone exhausts their prana, they may faint, but recovery is a matter of time. Prana control is a fundamental skill of Genesteller, enhancing both offense and defense, with defense showing particularly remarkable effects. Prana is the reason why students avoid fatal injuries, despite engaging in battles with dangerous weapons. Within the Genestellars, there exists an even more extraordinary group. These individuals, akin to superpower users, can wield various peculiar abilities. Those capable of linking with mana through flesh and blood are called Striga, if female, and Dante, if male. Now, Luke, possessing an identity in this world, also acquired this unique power. Prana, temporary. As a well-known genius, he also possesses prana and manipulation skills commensurate with his genius level. However, since the agent himself lacks this power, it is only accessible in this world. After completing the mission, the agent can solidify the temporary skill into a permanent one by consuming redemption points. Luke sensed the sudden surge of additional power, but it felt as if he had been using it for many years. While contemplating this, he remained vigilant of his surroundings. At that moment, a voice emanated from the colossal platform in the square's center. "It seems everyone is here, let's begin quickly. I can't wait any longer." Despite the rather childish tone, the words conveyed a mature essence. This contrasting tone immediately captured the attention of everyone in the square, including Luke. Luke wasn't the sole occupant of this vast square. Numerous boys and girls were present, and all eyes were fixed on the little girl who had just spoken. Simultaneously, the murmurs of the surrounding individuals reached Luke's ears. "That's Jiaolong's new student council president. The new generation of Banyu Tenra." In Asterisk City, there are 6 schools in total, each with a distinct focus. The Seidukan emblem, an unyielding red lotus, symbolizes the school's emphasis on student autonomy, resulting in lenient rules. They boast a substantial number of Striga and Dante. The school's modern and open architecture features middle school, high school, and college buildings surrounding an inner garden. The St. Galahadworth symbol, the aureole representing order, dictates strict discipline and loyalty. The school generally forbids duels, leading to strained relations with Re-Wolf. Due to the scarcity of duels, achieving ranks within the school becomes more challenging. The Jiaolong emblem, a yellow dragon symbolizing the emperor, makes it the largest school in Asterisk and the only one with an elementary school. Advocating bureaucracy and laissez-faire, it has a majority of Chinese students who prioritize training over festa participation. The school incorporates martial arts, with factions like the Water faction and the Wood faction, and a notable lack of respect between the two. The Arlequint emblem, the Dusk Owl, signifies a school that started weak but strengthened through research. Their technology surpasses other schools, and they are results-oriented, divided into research and practice classes. Unlike other schools, Arlequint experiences intense internal conflicts, especially within the research class. The Re-Wolf emblem, crossed swords symbolizing the conqueror, reflects the school's enjoyment of fighting. They actively promote duels among students, leading to strained relations with St. Galahadworth. Re-Wolf attracts students with unruly behavior, some even taking residence in the redevelopment area of Asterisk. The Queen Veil symbol, the profile of a nameless goddess symbolizing hope, represents the smallest school in Asterisk. Focusing on both looks and abilities, Queen Veil dismisses overall ranking, viewing festas as a platform to showcase individual charm. The school features idols or idol groups like Sylvia and Rusalka, gaining higher media exposure compared to others. In this city dominated by Genesteller schools, the student council president of each school holds significant power and position. Among them, Jiaolong's Banyu Tenra is particularly special. In Jiaolong's 7th Institute, not every student council president can be called Banyu Tenra. Inside the school is a building known as the Ashinden, constructed by the first Banyu Tenra. Only the one who successfully opens the door inherits the alias. The title Banyu Tenra holds special meaning within Jiaolong, and even the Integrated Enterprise Foundation cannot interfere with the inheritor's freedom. In Asterisk City, Banyu Tenra signifies unlimited possibilities. When the student council presidents of the other 5 schools assumed office, they were warned, don't get more involved than necessary with Banyu Tenra, as anything goes. As far as Luke knows, every generation's Banyu Tenra is the same person. Each Banyu Tenra generation is merely a vessel for the little girl in front of him to accumulate strength through the art of reincarnation via senjutsu. Although the girl named Fan Xinglu in front of him is only 6 years old, she is a true immortal who has lived for at least 1,000 years. Chapter 0003 Kozurayasen. Ha ha ha, hurry up, quicken your pace. Laughter reverberated throughout the building. Beneath Fan Xinglu's feet, light blue prana surged as she maintained an extremely high-speed traversal along the building's wall. Countless pursuers trailed behind her. Moments ago, Fan Xinglu had divulged the details of her apprenticeship test. Every student had a singular objective: to employ any means necessary to touch Fan Xinglu before their physical stamina depleted. Even a slight contact with her clothing would qualify them. Those who succeeded in this test could secure a spot as Fan Xinglu's fourth direct disciple in the academy. Observing Fan Xinglu and the students navigating the building, Luke, without haste, observed them. Fan Xinglu had clarified that there was no time limit for the test. As long as Luke's physical stamina endured, he could attempt it countless times. The reason for his delayed pursuit was mainly for observation. Among the students undergoing the apprenticeship test, he had yet to identify anyone worth paying attention to. The best among this batch of students were only around D level, judging by visual inspection. Fan Xinglu's strength likely rested at level C. However, judging by her composed demeanor, he suspected her true strength was at least level B, among the best at that level. Taking into consideration her current youthful state, Fan Xinglu in her prime should have been a B+ or possibly even an A-level powerhouse. However, Fan Xinglu refrained from utilizing all her strength in this test, otherwise, it would be impossible for any student to pass successfully. It would be much simpler if she were just at C level. Luke smiled and tightly gripped the soul nourishing around his waist with both hands. Anyway, let's attempt to strike her first. Is that the rumored genius? It truly surprises me. While Luke observed Fan Xinglu, she, in turn, observed him. After all, he was a highly renowned genius, with a reputation as the most talented swordsman in history, even more formidable. Fan Xinglu carefully observed Luke while casually handling the students behind her. The more she observed, the more elated Fan Xinglu became. Swordsmanship, sword chi, sword intention, sword heart. Haha, I didn't expect such a genius really exists. Let's see what this kid can do. Motivated by Luke, Fan Xinglu made up her mind, suddenly accelerated, distanced herself from the pursuing students, and landed on the ground in a flash. The moment Fan Xinglu landed, Luke, closely watching her, sprang into action. Swish! Almost simultaneously with her landing, Luke appeared behind Fan Xinglu. A rapid sword drawing style. The Divine/God Speed skill formed the foundation and core of Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu. All Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu swordsmanship was based on the Divine Speed skill, a blend of swift movement and rapid sword drawing. This lightning-fast sword drawing technique was the essence of Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu swordsmanship. However, this swift strike failed to connect. Hey, that's a bit much. Luke observed Fan Xinglu in the distance, his fighting spirit slowly rising. Given Fan Xinglu's prior performance, his attack should have been a sure hit. Yet, just as it was about to land, Fan Xinglu suddenly vanished. The blue starlight on Fan Xinglu in the distance had not completely dissipated. Luke asked with interest, is this Saizenjutsu? It's a bit different, but not much different. Compared to Luke's interest, Fan Xinglu was a bit excited. After all, my body is like this. If I use martial arts like Shikuchi, the blow just now must be impossible to avoid, so I partly used Saizenjutsu. So do you think I'm qualified? After hearing Fan Xinglu's explanation, Luke slowly resheathed soul nourishing and readied himself again. Hey, kid, you're still far from qualified. Let's see how far you can go. At this point, Fan Xinglu was completely excited. She really didn't expect that this rumored genius boy would surprise her so much. Hearing Fan Xinglu's answer, Luke was not surprised at all. It would be better to say that it was already within his expectation. I knew it would be like this. Before he finished speaking, Luke had already appeared behind Fan Xinglu. Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu Ryukensen. With the help of the rotation of his body, he avoided Fan Xinglu's punch, and then used the centrifugal force of the rotation to slash forward suddenly. However, this sudden attack still failed to hit its target. Fan Xinglu's body flashed with blue star-like prana, and she dodged Luke's attack with a simple turn. However, Luke had already expected this. He kept moving his hands and retracted the sheath of the blade at an extremely fast speed. The rapid retraction of the sword caused violent friction between the blade and the scabbard, and a huge explosion suddenly sounded. Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu Ryumaizen. Fan Xinglu didn't expect the sudden sonic boom, and her body couldn't help but be stunned. The pause was fleeting, but Luke still seized the opportunity. He held soul nourishing that had been put into the scabbard with his backhand and pulled it out suddenly. Shigure Son Ryu 8th form, Akasame. A perfect combo, from Ryukensen to Ryumaizen to Akasame, the three-stage attack was executed very smoothly. Unfortunately, such a coherent attack still failed to hit the target. Just like the first blow of the sword-drawing technique, Fan Xinglu appeared in the distance accompanied by blue prana fragments as if disappearing. Beautiful. So beautiful. Kid, you are qualified, huh? Fan Xinglu, who appeared in the distance, was very happy. Luke was even better than she expected. Just when she was about to praise and declare Luke qualified, she suddenly found that Luke had appeared in front of her at some point. Since I've drawn out the sword, at least let me chop it. Blue starlight appeared on Luke's legs, and like a shooting star, he followed Fan Xinglu in front of her when she stopped. Hiten Mitsurugi Ryu Kuzurayasen. A meteor-like attack split into 9 parts, blocking almost all the space around Fan Xinglu. Fan Xinglu, who was in a playful mood and did not use all her strength, was taken aback by Luke's sudden burst of speed and was unable to react immediately. By the time she reacted, it was too late to withdraw from Luke's attack range. The 9 sword lights completed the blockade and simultaneously slashed at Fan Xinglu at the same time. Feeling that Fan Xinglu was unable to escape, prana reserves as huge as the abyss suddenly surged out of her body, bringing unparalleled defense power, which makes it impossible for Luke's Kuzurayasen to cause any damage to Fan Xinglu. But... Kacha! With a crisp sound, the school emblem representing the dragon on Fan Xinglu's chest shattered. Suddenly, there was silence in the square. Chapter 0004 Heigun Seiken. The following morning, Luke awoke from his slumber. Having defeated Fan Xinglu the previous day, Luke secured the position of Fan Xinglu's 4th direct disciple and was assigned to reside in a dormitory within Ashinden. The reason it was considered a victory is due to one of the conditions for winning a duel between students from 6 schools in Asterisk City, which involves the destruction of the school badge/emblem. The school badge plays a crucial role in Asterisk, consisting of electronic components with functions similar to mobile phones and computers. All academy-related activities, such as duel applications, determining winners and losers, and browsing information, are carried out through the school badge. Once the school badge is destroyed, regardless of remaining combat power, the student is declared defeated. Typically, in formal battles in Asterisk City, the 3 conditions for failure are destruction of the school badge, loss of consciousness, or voluntary surrender. However, even though Luke successfully destroyed Fan Xinglu's school badge, as it was not an official battle, there would be no change in rankings. Asterisk City schools operate on a ranking system called named charts. The top 12 in each school are referred to as the Page 1. Fan Xinglu, holding the title of Contemporary Banyu Tenra, claimed the first position in the Jiaolong 7th Institute's ranking. Had yesterday's apprenticeship test been a formal duel, Luke could have replaced Fan Xinglu as the number 1 student in the Jiaolong 7th Institute. Of course, in a genuine formal duel, Fan Xinglu would likely not reveal such a critical flaw to Luke. Moreover, the ranking of the Page 1 is dynamic, changing in real time. Even if Luke were to surprise and luck his way into defeating Fan Xinglu, she could reclaim her position at any time. Dong dong dong. Is junior brother Luke awake? Master asked you to go over and see her. Just as Luke finished tidying up his bed sheets, a soft voice emanated from outside the door. I'm already awake, senior brother Zhao. Luke donned the school uniform he received the previous day, opened the door, and stepped out. Before him stood a petite man with feminine features and shoulder-length orange hair. Fan Xinglu's third direct disciple, Zhao Hufeng, was unmistakably girlish in appearance, but he was, indeed, a man. Following Zhao Hufeng, Luke was led to a hall in Aushinden. In the hall, 3 figures were already present. Master, I brought junior brother Luke. Indicating for Luke to approach, Zhao Hufeng respectfully bowed to Fan Xinglu. Oh, finally here. Luke, come over here. Ignoring Zhao Hufeng's salute, Fan Xinglu smiled and gestured for Luke to join her. Let me introduce you. These 2 are also my disciples. Fan Xinglu smiled and directed her gaze at Luke, who was lost in thought. Before Luke, Fan Xinglu had 3 direct disciples. Yes, 3. Luke was currently in a time period shortly after Fan Xinglu joined Jialong's 7th, with 3 full years remaining before the start of the original story. The third senior brother, Zhao Hufeng, was a wood faction boxer nicknamed Tenkamuzu, possessing one of the fastest speeds among students in the 6 academies. The second senior sister, Cecil Wang, was a water faction dousher, nicknamed Reijiki Senka, skilled in thunder-based Seizenjutsu. In Jialong's 7th, students were primarily divided into 2 factions, the wood faction, focusing on physical arts, and the water faction, specializing in Seizenjutsu. Seizenjutsu was a unique specialty of Jialong's 7th Institute. Seizenjutsu, a mana control technique created and developed by Jialong's 7th Institute, was a systematic technique allowing practitioners, known as Daosher, to utilize a wide range of abilities through training. While Strika and Dante abilities were based on individual talent, Seizenjutsu aimed to generalize these abilities to a certain extent as a technique. Unlike Strika and Dante, which specialized in single abilities, Seizenjutsu allowed Daosher to develop various abilities. However, mastering Seizenjutsu required special adjustments to the body's prana flow, making it challenging to teach. Apart from the 12 direct disciples of the first generation Banyu Tenra and the 7 disciples of the second generation, only the current third generation Banyu Tenra could properly teach Seizenjutsu. Despite efforts to introduce Seizenjutsu in various schools, mastering the technique proved elusive for most. The last person needing introduction was Fan Xinglu, Jialong 7th's rank 1 and the third generation Banyu Tenra. Senior brother Wu Xiaowei, known as Heigun Saiken, possessed physical skills surpassing Zhao Hufeng and Seizenjutsu exceeding Cecily's expertise. Following Fan Xinglu's introduction, Wu Xiaowei and Cecily turned their attention to Luke. Simultaneously, Luke observed the 2 of them. However, as the 3 of them sized each other up, Fan Xinglu dropped a bombshell. Xiaohui, you and Luke will have a duel. What? Luke and Wu Xiaowei hadn't spoken yet, but Zhao Hufeng and Cecily were already astonished. Despite being Fan Xinglu's disciples for only a few months, they deeply understood Wu Xiaowei's power. Wu Xiaowei was the only one among the Jialong 7th qualified to spar with Fan Xinglu. His well-rounded capabilities in physical skills and Seizenjutsu epitomized Fan Xinglu's teachings. Wu Xiaowei gazed at Luke, silent. He walked to the center of the hall, picked up a spear-shaped lux, and stood still. Regardless of how unconventional Fan Xinglu's orders were, Wu Xiaowei would not object. His sole purpose was to fulfill Fan Xinglu's orders, bringing joy and satisfaction to his master. While Luke was perplexed, he was also eager to engage in a duel with Wu Xiaowei. Just as Luke approached the center of the square and stood opposite Wu Xiaowei, Fan Xinglu issued another surprising statement. Luke, I ask you to do your best. Hearing Fan Xinglu's request, Luke was momentarily stunned. He looked back at her, smiled, and offered no verbal response. This scene did not escape the notice of Zhao Hufeng and Cecily, standing at a distance. Something seemed amiss, and the purpose of this duel appeared different from their initial perception of a big brother's battle to establish an image. For Luke, he simply smiled at Fan Xinglu's words, not taking them too seriously. Wu Xiaowei was undoubtedly formidable. According to the main God space level system, he was a legitimate C-level, ranking among the top in that level. Since both Luke and Wu Xiaowei were sea level, their strengths should be similar. In theory, Wu Xiaowei, being close to the limit of sea level, should surpass Luke. However, Luke was not a conventional sea level, and the plus sign in his level was not mere decoration. Chapter 0005 Luke vs. Wu Xiaowei. In the main god space, more detailed categories exist under the strength level, encompassing 6 attributes: durability, attack, defense, agility, skill, and mystery. Durability is a blend of physical strength, blood volume, physical fitness, and self-healing capability. Attack comprises strength, damage, lethality, and destructive power. Defense is a combination of shield, armor, protection, physical defense, energy defense, and similar elements. Agility involves reaction speed, attack speed, movement speed, and related factors. Skill and mystery are special attributes among the 6. Skill encompasses knowledge and experience, including all elements related to technique and skills. Mystery is the synthesis of all mysterious powers. Under normal circumstances, sea level implies that at least half of the 6-dimensional attributes, or at least 3 attributes, are at sea level. Take Fan Xinglu's disciples as an example. At this stage, Zhao Hufeng's attributes are durability D, attack C, defense C, agility C, skill D, mystery C, and the overall evaluation is C. Cecily Wang's attributes are durability D, attack C, defense C, agility D, skill C, mystery C, and the overall evaluation is C. Wu Xiaowei's attributes are durability C, attack C, defense C, agility C, skill C+, mystery C+, and the overall evaluation is C. From this, we see the considerable power of Wu Xiaowei. As Luke mentioned earlier, even if both are at the sea level, there exists a significant strength gap. Wu Xiaowei's offensive and defensive attributes are all at the sea level, but their effects are markedly different. Wu Xiaowei's attributes are evidently much stronger than Zhao Hufeng and Cecily. However, despite someone as formidable as Wu Xiaowei, the main god space still categorizes him as sea level, not C+ level. With the added bonus of prana, Luke's defensive shortcomings have been significantly compensated for. Luke's attributes are durability D, attack C, defense C, agility C+, skill B, mystery B+, and the overall evaluation is C+. Yes, B-level skills and B+ level mystery. The synergy of these 2 attributes is Luke's trump card. Even without using the B+ level mystery, relying solely on the advantages brought by B-level skills, Luke believes he can stand against Wu Xiaowei. Nonetheless, Luke is still eagerly anticipating a battle against a formidable opponent like Wu Xiaowei, especially with the prospect of experiencing his Seizenjutsu. As a swordsman, Luke is intrigued by any opportunity that can further enhance his swordsmanship. At this moment, the duel begins. Bang, 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 the sound of the spear/stick hitting the ground continues. Luke and Wu Xiaowei have been engaged in several rounds of combat. In contrast to yesterday's battle between Luke and Fan Xinglu, this time Wu Xiaowei continues to attack while Luke expertly dodges. It looks like senior brother Wu Xiaowei hasn't landed a hit on junior brother Luke at all. Cecily remarks in surprise, noting the unexpected turn of events. Zhao Hufeng, specializing in physical arts, has a clearer view of the field than Cecily. With a solemn expression, he adds, "It's a body technique, a method to move as smoothly as water." Junior brother Luke also has a technique to instantaneously increase his speed. The combination of these two makes senior brother Wu Xiaowei helpless against his speed. Observing junior brother Luke, I believe these are the cores of 2 distinct swordsmanships perfectly integrated into his own. No, this is not merely swordsmanship, Fan Xinglu interjects, joining the discussion with evident interest. Rather than saying that Luke is using swordsmanship, it's better to say he's utilizing 2 techniques that were once swordsmanship. That kind of unreasonable agility and instantaneous explosive power cannot be achieved by ordinary swordsmanship. As Fan Xinglu points out, the Shigure Sonryu and Hitenmitsuruji Ryu used by Luke are vastly different from their original forms. The skills learned in the main god space have been optimized and sublimated, evolving into techniques that continue to grow stronger with the agent's ongoing study. Especially Hitenmitsurugi Ryu, its strength far surpasses the original creator. But, it's almost there, Fan Xinglu notes, observing the situation with growing interest. Are you planning to hide like this forever? Wu Xiaowei speaks up for the first time. Hearing this, Luke raises his eyebrows, realizing something. Urgent like a law, edict. Wu Xiaowei forms a seal with one hand, and hidden talismans on the ground appear one by one, forming a barrier around them. I see, then I won't be able to rely on speed to dodge. Examining the barriers around him, Luke stops. Though trapped, it doesn't mean Wu Xiaowei has won. After all, Master asked me to use my full strength. It wouldn't be right if I didn't take this duel more seriously. Besides, if I want to experience more features of Seizenjutsu, I'll have plenty of opportunities in the future. Luke slowly gets into his stance, hand on soul nourishing. Following Luke's movements, a sharp aura suddenly surges in all directions. Anyway, let's try cutting first. Hitenmitsurugi Ryu Oji Amakakuru Ryu no Haramiki. Swish. Just as Wu Xiaowei feels Luke's momentum and prepares to defend himself, Luke disappears. What? Wu Xiaowei is surprised, reacting quickly to defend himself. However. Boom. The reverse blade sword, soul nourishing, hits Wu Xiaowei's body heavily. Unable to react, Luke's attack seems to have crossed time and space, appearing directly on Wu Xiaowei's body. In the last second before Wu Xiaowei loses consciousness, the thought that lingers is, what happened just now? The same thought occurs in the minds of Zhao Hufeng and Cecily. Unable to act, an abyss-like momentum envelopes the entire square. This sudden momentum is the will to fight. Everyone watches silently as Fan Xinglu approaches Wu Xiaowei. Carefully examining Wu Xiaowei's injuries, she finally says, "Hey, this shouldn't be your full strength, right?" Without waiting for Luke to answer, Fan Xinglu throws a healing talisman to the unconscious Wu Xiaowei, then turns and walks toward Luke. Use your full strength, use everything you have. No matter how challenging it is, just one strike to attack me. She smiles, as if she's discovered a rare treasure, as if her millennium wish has finally come true, a pure smile from the heart. Accompanied by the smile is an immense amount of prana, devouring everything like an abyss, and an unfathomable fighting spirit suppressed for thousands of years. Facing Fan Xinglu, Luke feels an almost breathless pressure. Slowly, a wild smile appears on his face. The sharp aura from the duel with Wu Xiaowei surges again, but unlike before, this time it doesn't disappear in a flash. Sharp, pure sharpness, the violent sword chi forcefully withstands Fan Xinglu's abyss-like momentum and spreads in all directions. Despite the vast strength difference, it doesn't take long for the spread of sword chi to decline. Before Fan Xinglu could be disappointed, changes occur. At the center of the sword chi, Luke's body, the initially declining sword energy seems to come to life as he holds the sword. Later, Fan Xinglu, Zhao Hufeng, Cecily, and Wu Xiaowei, who is just awakened, witness the most dazzling sword skill. Hitenmitsurugi Ryu Oji Amakakuru Ryu no Haramiki, Second Stage. Chapter 0006 2 years. Time elapsed, and 2 years had transpired since Luke's clash with Fan Xinglu. The main god space doesn't restrict the time for task completion, but the duration taken affects the evaluation upon task settlement. Hence, Luke didn't hasten to complete the task but instead settled down to study under Fan Xinglu for 2 years. Upon becoming an agent of the main god space, 2 fixed buffs awaited. One ensured the body always stayed in peak condition without aging. The agent could use redemption points to adjust the age and condition of the body. The other guaranteed uninterrupted progress and strength growth until reaching a level. As long as Luke trained, he would continue to strengthen his attributes. Regarding the result of the battle 2 years ago. Apart from the initial Kuzuriasan, exploiting Fan Xinglu's carelessness to sever her school badge, the rest of the time saw Luke being unilaterally ravaged by Fan Xinglu. Throughout the entire process, Luke couldn't cause even the slightest harm to Fan Xinglu. However, such a result was expected in a formal battle. Therefore, with Fan Xinglu's approval, Luke successfully became the #1 Genesteller in Jielong's 7th Institute, earning the moniker Extreme Swordsman. This nickname was given by Fan Xinglu after inquiring about Luke's sword skills. Thanks to this achievement, Luke became a prominent figure in Asterisk City. This is one of the main reasons why Luke studied under Fan Xinglu without venturing outside for 2 years. In the past 2 years, the city has also undergone tremendous changes, and there is only more than a year left before the plot that Luke is familiar with begins, but Luke had no intention of staying until then. He looked at the main mission that had made no progress in the past 2 years and contemplated his own thoughts about it. Main mission: participate in a festa and obtain a ranking of top 8 or above. Festa is a large-scale battle tournament hosted by the Integrated Enterprise Foundation in Asterisk City, where powerful students from 6 schools compete against each other. The participating age is 13 to 22 years old, and each student has the right to participate 3 times during these 10 years. Festa follows a 3-year cycle, with a competition held every year. They are the Phoenix in the summer of the first year, the Gryps in the autumn of the second year, and the Lindworm in the winter of the third year. Contestants who obtain a good ranking in Festa will receive points for their respective schools, and the comprehensive points of each academy will be calculated after the end of each season's Lindworm. In principle, students are free to participate. For example, some people leave the academy after participating continuously for 3 years, and some people only participate in the Lindworm for 9 years. The 3 festa are conducted in different ways. Contestants enter as pairs in Phoenix Festa. The rules are to directly defeat all the opponent's players or destroy the school emblems of the 2 opponents. Contestants enter as teams of 5 in Gryps Festa. The rules are to directly defeat all the opponent players or destroy the enemy leader's academy emblem. Contestants enter as individuals in Lindworm Festa. The rules are to directly defeat the opponent or destroy the opponent's school emblem. The winner or winners of a festa gain the right to have their wish granted by the Integrated Enterprise Foundation. And this year, it is the 3rd year of the 24th festa, the Lindworm, 4 individual battles. According to Luke's understanding of the original work, this year's Lindworm will have the first place in the sequence of the other 2 schools, but this can also be used to test the result of his learning in the past 2 years. Fan Xinglu has recruited more than 40 direct disciples in the past 2 years, and every disciple is ranked. Among the page 1 of Jielong's 7th Institute, 11 are Fan Xinglu's direct disciples. Many of the disciples had already made their mark in the previous festa, and Zhao Hufeng and Cecily formed a team to participate in the previous Phoenix Festa and won the runner-up position, losing to the team from Arlequin Academy with only a narrow gap. All of this has caused the reputation of the name Banyu Tenra to rise sharply in the Asterisk City. Similarly, even if he has not appeared in front of others, Wu Xiaowei, the first disciple of Banyu Tenra, and Luke, the first in ranking of Jielong's 7th, who surpassed Heigun Saiken, also aroused everyone's curiosity and attention. However, the biggest change is not Luke and his influence in the city. The biggest change occurred when Wu Xiaowei, Zhao Hufeng, and Cecily witnessed Luke's extremely brilliant sword skills. Among them, Wu Xiaowei's change was the most drastic. For the 3 of them, the biggest change was actually the impact on their beliefs. Fan Xinglu has always put too much pressure on them. Without knowing it, Zhao Hufeng and Cecily are in awe of Fan Xinglu, but being crushed by a girl who was less than 10 years old with an invincible attitude was actually full of pressure and frustration for the 2 of them. Although Wu Xiaowei knew about Fan Xinglu's situation, it was precisely because of his knowledge that the thought of Fan Xinglu being invincible was more serious than that of Zhao Hufeng and Cecily Wang. From the bottom of their hearts, the 3 of them did not think that anyone could defeat Fan Xinglu. Not to mention victory, how many people can attack Fan Xinglu under such abyss-like momentum? In the entire Jielong 7th Institute, during the 2 years, the number of students who could touch Fan Xinglu's clothes was only a little over 40. It was only after Fan Xinglu heavily restricted her strength. But what did they see before? They saw that Fan Xinglu, who was considered invincible and omnipotent, was defeated. Even if Fan Xinglu was not injured, even if Luke was being constantly ravaged afterward, the fact that he defeated Fan Xinglu was somewhat true. As Fan Xinglu's personal disciple, while knowing that Fan Xinglu was powerful, they witnessed Luke's victory with their own eyes. The impact of this incident is unimaginable to outsiders. Wu Xiaowei, as Fan Xinglu's disciple who practiced with her before she was reincarnated in this life, knew that Fan Xinglu's long-standing wish was to find an opponent with whom she could fight to her heart's content. At the same time, Wu Xiaowei also regarded being able to fulfill Fan Xinglu's wish as his lifelong pursuit and continued to work tirelessly toward this goal. He continued to learn all the knowledge and techniques Fan Xinglu gave him and continued to imitate Fan Xinglu's fighting style. Because in his heart, Fan Xinglu is the strongest, invincible, and unsurpassable. So if he wants to become stronger, learning everything from Fan Xinglu is of course the fastest way. He wants to become stronger quickly so that he can satisfy his master's wishes. In fact, he has recently discovered that Fan Xinglu is becoming more and more dissatisfied with him, and the praises and compliments he once received have become less and less, but he didn't know why. He just felt that he was not strong enough, or that he was not getting stronger at a speed that satisfied his master. From the perspective of becoming stronger, Wu Xiaowei actually did not do anything wrong, and precisely because Wu Xiaowei did not do anything wrong, Fan Xinglu would not correct him. Wu Xiaowei is indeed getting stronger, and the speed of getting stronger is scary. He has not even encountered a bottleneck. Because someone has already walked the road he is taking, and it has even been proven that this road can lead to the strongest. In Asterisk City, except for Fan Xinglu and Luke, even if they are ranked first among the 6 schools, Wu Xiaowei must have a greater chance of winning. Wu Xiaowei did nothing wrong when it came to becoming stronger. What he was wrong about was that his path to becoming stronger ran counter to his deepest desires. If his wish is to become the strongest in the world or to become someone like Fan Xinglu, then there is nothing wrong with his way. He will even become stronger and make faster progress because of the unity of his heart and spirit. However, his wish is to satisfy Fan Xinglu's desire to fight to her heart's content. The path he took was already taken by Fan Xinglu, and in order to pursue perfection, he did not even make any modifications to it. Not to mention whether Wu Xiaowei can catch up with Fan Xinglu's thousands of years of progress in his entire life. Even if one day he really grows to the same level as Fan Xinglu, he will not be able to satisfy Fan Xinglu's desire to fight. Because, for Fan Xinglu, fighting against herself is the most boring thing. Chapter 0007 Orga Lux. Luke's triumph over Fan Xinglu left Wu Xiaowei profoundly affected in a way neither Zhao Hufeng nor Cecily could have envisioned. This incident amounted to a complete rejection of the life belief he had held since commencing his training at the age of 6. He had always revered Fan Xinglu as the epitome of strength, invincibility, and omnipotence, shaping his entire practice around this belief. Witnessing Luke's defeat of Fan Xinglu with his own eyes served as a wake-up call, making him realize his past mistakes and the reasons behind Fan Xinglu's growing disappointment in him. The day after the showdown between Luke and Fan Xinglu, Wu Xiaowei secluded himself in his room, with even meals being delivered by Zhao Hufeng and others. This retreat persisted for a whole year. Now, 2 years have elapsed. Under Luke's influence, Wu Xiaowei and the other 2 disciples have grown significantly stronger than when the original storyline commenced. Junior brother Luke, do you also intend to participate in this year's Lindworm? When Luke expressed his desire to join the Lindworm Festa to Fan Xinglu, Zhao Hufeng was the first to pose the question. Luke looked at Zhao Hufeng and chuckled inwardly, understanding the reason behind Zhao Hufeng's reaction. Why do you ask? Does senior brother Zhao doubt my qualifications for this year's Lindworm? No, that's not what I meant, it's just. Zhao Hufeng's face reddened with embarrassment, silently muttering to himself, I think you are just bullying others. Luke observed the flustered Zhao Hufeng and refrained from teasing further. Instead, he patted him on the shoulder and remarked, I understand what you mean, senior brother Zhao, but this year's Lindworm is more complicated than you think. Oh ho! While Zhao Hufeng remained silent, Fan Xinglu became intrigued. Luke, Do you already know that those two are gearing up for this year's Lindworm? Fan Xinglu sat in her chair, her legs swaying rhythmically, exuding a joyful demeanor. Zhao Hufeng, standing beside her, glanced at Fan Xinglu's delighted expression and hesitated to speak. Eventually, recalling the events of the past year, he sighed inwardly, choosing silence. Indeed, Fan Xinglu had been in high spirits for nearly a year. Since Wu Xiaowei emerged from seclusion a year ago, Fan Xinglu closely followed the progress of Luke, Wu Xiaowei, and her other disciples, and her mood improved day by day. Luke, the catalyst for these changes, had become a lucky star for Fan Xinglu. This, in turn, elevated Fan Xinglu's attitude toward Luke, evolving into a relationship of mutual support. To be honest, this stirred a tinge of jealousy in Zhao Hufeng. Even if you didn't mention it, I would have allowed you to participate in this year's Lindworm. Fan Xinglu gazed at Luke, contemplating his growth over the past 2 years. In just 2 years, you've comprehended my millennia-old swordsmanship accumulation. However, your progress in Saizenjutsu, though also at a genius level, is perplexingly different from your exceptional swordsmanship talent. As she spoke, even Fan Xinglu seemed a bit puzzled. Under normal circumstances, given Luke's astounding swordsmanship qualifications, he should have surpassed the average genius in various aspects, even if other aspects of his learning weren't as exceptional. Luke's performance in the past 2 years, however, deviated from the norm. Not only did his swordsmanship advance significantly, but his Saizenjutsu also progressed rapidly. For instance, he could utilize spells to envelop his sword, add diverse effects through Saizenjutsu, and even activate Saizenjutsu by merely swinging his sword in a specific pattern, bypassing spells and talismans. Yet, when it came to conventional Saizenjutsu such as wind control, lightning, enchantment, invisibility, etc., Luke's once unparalleled performance transformed to merely impressive. It seemed as if his talent could only be fully realized when it involved the sword, leaving Fan Xinglu intrigued. Despite her research, she couldn't draw any concrete conclusions. By the way, since Luke plans to participate in this year's Lindworm, he and I will go out this afternoon. Suddenly, Fan Xinglu seemed to recall something, a playful smile gracing her face. Luke was taken aback at the mention of going out with Fan Xinglu. Going out? Do you have something to attend to outside? Luke's confusion was understandable. Typically, it was Zhao Hufeng who accompanied Fan Xinglu, while Luke and Wu Xiaowei focused on their practice in Aoshinden. Fan Xinglu, not intending to conceal anything, explained, "Well, it's a reward bestowed by the master to outstanding disciples. I recall you don't have a suitable weapon yet." Fan Xinglu's response enlightened Luke, though he remained somewhat surprised. In Asterisk City, weapons were synonymous with Lux. Lux, the most common weapon type, started as small, palm-sized objects containing a green manadite. Upon activation, Lux materialized into various forms like swords, bows, spears, or guns. Luke currently possessed 2 Lux crafted from manadite or colon. Tachi type Lux, D+ level, a beam-bladed tachi with a sharper edge than ordinary swords. Within manadite ore, there existed an even rarer type, the amanadite. Amanadite referred to manadite of exceptional purity, each displaying unique colors and sizes, believed to possess individual wills. Lux created using amanadite as the core were known as Orga Lux, distinguished by unparalleled energy and special abilities akin to Striga's and Dante's. All Orga Lux were semi-sentient, featuring distinct abilities and independent wills. However, their use incurred a cost on the wielder, with some being manageable and others exceedingly challenging. The adaptation rate served as a metric to measure user qualifications, with users exhibiting vastly different energy levels generated by Orga Lux. Other than power levels, this is usually the key as to why so few Gene Stella, even exceptionally powerful ones, are not compatible with all Orga Lux. So forming a long-term relationship with suitable Orga Lux is a given. Therefore, choosing a suitable Lux was imperative. Chapter 0008 Claudia Enfield. Since Fan Xinglu intended to take Luke out specifically, it indicated that the gift prepared for Luke by Fan Xinglu was undoubtedly not an ordinary Lux, it must at least be an Orga Lux. Luke had encountered a few Orga Lux in the past 2 years, and they varied widely in levels and abilities, generally falling within the C to B level range. Obtaining a B-level weapon would significantly aid Luke. After lunch, Luke followed Fan Xinglu and joined her outside. On the way, as he observed Fan Xinglu, who exuded innocence like a little Lolita, Luke sensed a subtle feeling in his heart. I can now understand why senior brother Zhao always looks at me with resentful eyes, Luke thought to himself, trailing Fan Xinglu with mixed emotions. It didn't take long for them to reach their destination, Seidukan Academy. Upon arrival, a figure stood at the entrance of the academy in the distance. Welcome to Seidukan Academy, Banyu Tenra and Extreme Swordsman, greeted a beautiful girl with dazzling blonde hair at the entrance. Luke recognized her. Precisely speaking, there were very few people in Asterisk City unfamiliar with her. Claudia Enfield, the student council president of Seidukan Academy, also held the current rank 1 position in the academy. She hailed from the Enfield family, both of her parents being officials in the corporate conglomerate Xinglu, the group behind Seidukan Academy's financing. She operated smoothly and calmly, excelling in calculations and long-term planning, unafraid to get her hands dirty to achieve her goals. She often referred to herself as black-hearted, a sentiment echoed by other high-rankers from Asterisk schools. She also wielded the Orga Lux, Pandora. However, Luke couldn't shake the feeling that Claudia looked at him a little strangely. Thank you for picking us up, Enfield, Fan Xinglu casually responded to Claudia's greeting. Then, you two, please come with me. The school gate is not a suitable place for discussion, Claudia suggested, turning around and leading Luke and Fan Xinglu into the academy. As Claudia had mentioned, the sight of their student council president personally greeting guests at the school gate drew the attention of many Seidukan Academy students. Luke could overhear people gossiping. Hey, look, the student council president is personally picking them up at the school gate. Really? What are their identities? They actually require the student council president to greet them personally. Judging by their school uniform, they must be from Jielong 7th Institute, but they're all unfamiliar faces. Amidst the growing discussions, Luke quickly followed Claudia and Fan Xinglu. Advancing, the trio eventually reached the underground facility of a separate building. After walking to the deepest point, a small square surrounded by metal walls appeared before Luke. In the center of the square, on a metal platform, lay a red and black sword hilt. Claudia, standing aside, addressed Luke at this moment. This is the content of our agreement. Our Seidukan Academy possesses the Orga Lux named seresta, or simply Sword of the Black Furnace. Luke was suddenly surprised at Claudia's words. Seresta? Are you saying you want to give me this sword? It was no wonder Luke reacted strongly. Seresta was the weapon used by the protagonist in the original work. Before arriving, Luke had various speculations about the Orga Lux he would obtain. Even upon seeing the destination was Seidukan Academy, he did not expect it to be this sword. Observing Luke's reaction, Claudia seemed a bit confused. She looked at Fan Xinglu and asked, "Didn't you inform Extreme Swordsman of our agreement?" "Well, it's not too late to inform him now," Fan Xinglu said, glancing nonchalantly at seresta in the center of the field. Claudia, covering her forehead, expressed her frustration with Fan Xinglu's irresponsible behavior. She looked at Luke, smiled, and continued, "Let me briefly describe the agreement between Jielong 7th and our Seidukan Academy. Fan Xinglu, the current student council president of Jielong 7th, proposed this agreement. The request from Jielong 7th is to lend the Orga Lux seresta and designate its user as the rank 1 in Jielong 7th, Extreme Swordsman Luke Ashburn. Since no one has successfully wielded seresta for over 10 years, after careful consideration, we agreed to Jielong's request. As a condition, Jielong 7th Institute will train some students from Seidukan Academy. The training covers physical skills, swordsmanship, etc., excluding seizenjutsu, unfortunately. Claudia paused at this point, displaying genuine regret. The students will be recommended by our academy, handed over to Jielong 7th Institute, with the final selection made by the trainers. Essentially, the students are jointly selected by the two schools. The designated individual for the training program is the current rank 1 in the name charts of Jielong's 7th Institute, Extreme Swordsman Luke Ashburn. The above outlines the general content of this agreement. There are additional detailed clauses, but the primary content remains as explained. Claudia concluded. By the way, the training program was initially my responsibility, but due to her suggestion, it was transferred to you. Fan Xinglu, with a wicked smile, added, Enfield seems to know Luke quite well. To confidently hand over the training program to a student unfamiliar with the outside world is indeed the user of Pandora. Some people truly care about you, Luke. Fan Xinglu then walked to the side, folding her arms, ready to enjoy the unfolding events. Taking Fan Xinglu's prompt to heart, Luke glanced at the hilt of the Orga Lux, Pandora, held behind Claudia. He seemed to grasp something. Staring intently at Claudia's face, he wore an expression that conveyed, I've seen through you. Claudia, under Luke's scrutinizing gaze, slowly lost her hold on her smile, a subtle rosy tint crossing her pretty face. Chapter 0009, Seresta. The ownership of the Orga Lux, Pandora rests with the Seidukan Academy, and its creator is none other than Ladislav Bartosik. Claudia Enfield, the current wielder of Pandora, holds the esteemed position of the Student Council President at Seidukan Academy. It is not merely a weapon, it is a marvel of exceptional abilities, coupled with an infamous reputation. According to its creator, Pandora possesses the most troublesome of personalities. These twin swords, distinguished by magenta and teal hues, boast an eerie design. The guards resemble eyes, combining to form a visage akin to a monstrous creature. The key to Pandora's prowess lies in its unique ability, future vision. This remarkable feature enables it to foresee upcoming trends within an undetermined time frame and anticipate any offensive maneuvers from adversaries. However, this predictive power is confined to a 300-second window. The catch is that this time is stockpiled, meaning that if the user expends 10 seconds, they are left with 290 seconds of foresight. Regaining a second requires about 3 days, contingent upon the user maintaining their contract with Pandora. Thus, strategic planning becomes crucial in utilizing its potential. In exchange for manipulating the fabric of time, the user must endure varied forms of death in their dreams, each representing a potential demise. Claudia shares that these dreams tend to dissipate upon awakening, leaving behind fragmented memories, the lingering fear and pain of nightmares, and an unsettling sense of malaise. While the information regarding future deaths remains nebulous, the dream realm offers the ability to continually review past memories, potentially unveiling glimpses of the future. Luke entertains the speculation that Claudia might have glimpsed him in one of her dreams, suggesting she possesses insights about him. Without thinking much, Luke let Claudia go, and now the matter of seresta was more important. At this moment, Fan Xinglu finds herself content. The student council president of Seidukan Academy proves to be as cautious and cunning as reputed. The spectacle of this vixen in an awkward situation is indeed a rare sight. Fan Xinglu, sensing an unintentional acquisition of important information, refrains from further probing into the matter. Approaching Luke, she pats him on the shoulder, asking, "What do you think? Are you willing to accept this agreement?" Upon careful consideration, Luke perceives no harm in agreeing. Teaching a few students poses minimal challenge for him at this point. In fact, in terms of swordsmanship alone, Luke deems himself superior to Fan Xinglu. Hence, Luke doesn't decline the offer and strides directly towards the central platform. Both Fan Xinglu and Claudia refrain from following him, their gaze fixed on Luke, uncertain of whether he can secure seresta's approval. Should Luke fail to gain seresta's approval, Fan Xinglu's plan to find a suitable weapon for Luke and Claudia's strategy to approach him would crumble. The square, not overly expansive, witnesses Luke's arrival at seresta's side in mere steps. Gazing at the red and black hilt of the sword before him, Luke grasps it with minimal hesitation. Infusing prana into seresta, the weapon unfurls from a hilt into a towering longsword with a pure white blade. Simultaneously, the main god space presents an introduction to seresta in front of Luke. Orga Lux seresta. Class B+. Characterized by a red core, a pure white blade, contrary to its name, and a massive single-edged lightsaber. Prana injection can alter the sword's shape. Possesses the ability to envelop the sword in purple-black flames, exhibiting extreme heat and destructive power. At its zenith, this ability manifests pure black flames of destruction. Inherently defensible, seresta can incinerate all in its path and exerts additional destructive effects on enemy weapons and equipment. Legendary affixes. Melts upon contact. Turns the earth into a furnace when stabbed. Observing seresta in hand, Luke, despite mental preparation, remained shocked by its capabilities. The revelation of 2 legendary affixes only amplifies his astonishment. It truly aligns with the weapon wielded by the original work's protagonist. Weapons bearing legendary affixes harbor evolutionary potential. Each affix permits the weapon to evolve by at least 1 level. With seresta boasting 2 legendary affixes and a B+ rating, even at the lowest levels, it signals the potential growth into an A-level weapon. The second legendary affix, far from appearing low-level, adds to the rarity of seresta. Such affixes are a genuine rarity, setting it apart from other Orga Lux Luke has encountered over the past 2 years, some of which are only at the C level. As seresta unfolds in Luke's grip, purple-black flames gradually envelop the sword. The once pure white blade transforms into a fittingly colored manifestation. Concurrently, the prana within Luke's body depletes at an alarming rate. Though Luke's prana reserves rank among the elite Genestellars, the consumption rate by seresta's flames implies he might not sustain it for more than 2 hours, even without engaging in battle. As the flames materialize, an electronic counter adjacent to Luke begins to register changes. This counter serves to display the adaptation rate between Lux and their users. Only an adaptation rate exceeding 80% qualifies one to wield the Lux effectively. The higher the adaptation rate, the greater the weapon's potential use. Sensing the intensifying drain on his prana reserves, Luke glances at seresta. To his relief, the flames gradually recede, returning the weapon to its original pure white state. Trial and error reveal that if seresta's flames remain dormant, the additional prana consumption is negligible. It functions similarly to an ordinary Lux in this regard. Stowing away the Tachi-type seresta, now a sword hilt, Luke retraces his steps towards Claudia and Fan Xinglu. The adaptation rate displayed on the counter reaches exactly 100% at this moment. Chapter 0010, Fairy Tools. Claudia observed Luke walking back, reminiscing about their connection formed through Pandora's dream and recognizing his immense power. Upon seeing the adaptation rate display showing an astonishing 100%, and witnessing his ability to effortlessly control seresta's flames and transformation upon the first contact, Claudia, although prepared, was surprised. Simultaneously, a sense of relief washed over her. After all, this is the only way he can do that kind of thing in a dream. Thanks to him, the troublesome side effect of Orga Lux, Pandora, had ceased for a long time. Now that it had recovered, its impact was much more restrained than before. The prolonged mental stress caused by lingering in death dreams could also be slightly alleviated, bringing genuine happiness to Claudia, its user. How do you feel about using seresta? Curious, Fan Xinglu inquired as she watched Luke return. Seresta, one of the 4-colored magic swords, held unrivaled power in Asterisk City, sparking even Fan Xinglu's interest. How should I put it? In terms of sword quality, I'm afraid there is nothing stronger than seresta in the entire Asterisk City. From this point of view, of course, I am quite satisfied. Claudia, hearing Luke's reply, asked with confusion, so, Luke, do you have any other dissatisfaction with seresta? Fan Xinglu, understanding immediately, looked at Luke and then at seresta, realizing the issue. I see, it's because of the scabbard. Thinking of the swordsmanship Luke had learned, Fan Xinglu addressed the absence of a scabbard. Though Luke had studied with Fan Xinglu for 2 years, he continued to use the 3 swordsmanships learned in the main god space, with Hiten Mitsurujiryu being the best among them. Hiten Mitsurujiryu's secret sword skill is the sword drawing skill, but seresta does not have a scabbard. This is a bit troublesome, Claudia added, reacting to Fan Xinglu's explanation. It is indeed a bit troublesome, but it is not a big problem that cannot be solved. Scratching his head, Luke acknowledged the inconvenience of seresta lacking a scabbard. Yet, in comparison to its overall power, this issue couldn't be considered a flaw and was not impossible to solve. After 2 years of study, Luke's reliance on a particular swordsmanship had gradually decreased, and his current swordsmanship leaned towards the state of doing whatever you want. After you go back, let the Academy prepare a batch of ordinary lux with scabbards for you to use first. Picking up the topic, Fan Xinglu proposed preparing not just one, but a batch of scabbards for Luke. The real trouble for Luke was not that seresta lacked a scabbard. Its flame would likely destroy an ordinary scabbard after just one use. Originally known for being able to destroy other Orga Lux, seresta's power exceeded that of ordinary Lux. Even without using its ability to burn everything, merely unfolding the sword could render ordinary weapons useless. In essence, for seresta to officially have its scabbard, it needed to be an Orga Lux of the same specifications. However, purely scabbard-type Orga Lux didn't exist, as no academy would develop such a seemingly useless scabbard. I don't have any special requirements for the scabbard, as long as it can be used. Agreeing with Fan Xinglu's solution, Luke, with his portable pocket, found it convenient to carry more scabbards. Fan Xinglu, aware of Luke's ability to store items, proposed this solution. However, Luke hoped for a long-term solution to permanently address the scabbard issue. Let me handle this matter. I happen to have something I want to do recently, so I'll give it a try. Fan Xinglu's words immediately captured Luke and Claudia's attention. It turned out to be Banyu Tenra who did it herself. Could it be the legendary immortal/fairy tool? Claudia, surprised by Fan Xinglu's proactive approach, speculated about the involvement of Banyu Tenra. Immortal/fairy tools were akin to urban legends in Asterisk City, known only to those familiar with Banyu Tenra. These unique pieces of equipment, crafted by Banyu Tenra, possessed special abilities like Orga Lux. Legends even suggested that some immortal/fairy tools surpassed Orga Lux in power. There's nothing wrong with saying it's a fairy tool, but it's still different from previous fairy tools. Fan Xinglu's eyes sparkled, indicating her anticipation of something interesting. But of course, I can't give it to you for nothing. After some thought, Fan Xinglu clapped her hands and said to Luke with a smile, "That's right. Just think of it as the reward for winning this year's Lindworm Festa. Do you really think so highly of me and are so convinced that I can win? You must know that this year's Lindworm Festa will be attended by Ereshkigal, who is known as the strongest Striga in history." Hearing Luke's answer, Fan Xinglu rolled her eyes angrily. "Why, if you don't have confidence, forget it." Luke, looking at Fan Xinglu's appearance, sighed. He hadn't expected that the little Lolita in front of him turned out to be an immortal/fairy who had lived for more than 1,000 years. Since the master has spoken, then the disciples will naturally do their best to fulfill it. The interaction between Luke and Fan Xinglu deeply moved Claudia. She felt overwhelmed by the surprises of the day. This year's Lindworm is really scary. After Ereshkigal and Sigurdrifa, even the extreme swordsman decided to participate. In a Lindworm Festa, 3 schools ranked ones actually participated at the same time. Claudia's emotions caught Fan Xinglu's interest. "Oh yeah? Are you also interested in participating as Seidukan Academy's rank 1? If you also participate, Arlequin Academy might ignore it, but if I put a little pressure, the Pendragon of St. Galahadworth Academy might participate as well." The more Fan Xinglu discussed it, the happier she became, envisioning a competition among the top-ranked players from 5 different schools. In this scenario, the Arlequin Academy would never stand idly by, likely leading to a decisive battle among the top-ranked players from all 6 schools.